What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to be doing a penetration test with my snub-nose 44 Magnum revolver. And I'm going to be testing some big game hunting loads from buffalo boar. And the handgun that I'm going to be using is my Smith & Wesson Model 629 Performance Center. And it has a 2 5/8 inch barrel. And the ammunition I'm going to be using is some buffalo boar heavy 44 Magnum 270 grain jacketed flat nose, and it has an advertised muzzle velocity of 1,450 feet per second and an advertised muzzle energy of 1,260 foot-pounds. Now, out of this 2 5/8 inch barrel, I'm probably going to be getting 150 to 200 feet per second less than what's advertised. And this is the load right here that I'm going to be testing in this video. Just a standard jacketed flat nose. And this is a pretty hot load, okay? And the test media is going to be Douglas fir 2x10 framing lumber. And what I do with those Douglas fir 2x10s is I cut them to 1 foot lengths. And I put screws in each corner of the 2x10s and I screw them all together. And this way we can see how many 2x10s it takes to stop one of these loads. And then we can compare the results from this test with other tests that I've done to give us a general understanding of what kind of penetration to expect. And after we determine how many 2x10s this load can penetrate through out of the snub-nose 44 Magnum, I'm going to try to recover the bullets from the wood, and we're going to take a closer look at the bullets to see what kind of expansion occurred and how much weight they retained. And that's critical for a big game hunting bullet. You want to have good expansion and you also want to have good penetration, okay? So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the video. And if you want to see my other 2x10 penetration tests, check out my 2x10 penetration tests playlist. I'll leave a link at the top right corner of the video. And also, if you want to see all of my 44 Magnum content, I put all of my 44 Magnum videos in my 44 Magnum playlist, and I'll leave a link to that at the top right corner of this video as well. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright guys, got the buffalo boar jacketed flat nose. This has an advertised muzzle velocity of 1,450 feet per second and an advertised muzzle energy of 1,260 foot-pounds. Let's see what kind of penetration we get in those 2x10s out of my Smith & Wesson Model 629 Performance Center with a 2 5/8 inch barrel. Curious what kind of expansion we get also. And I think these are going to have a lot of recoil. So let's see what happens here. Wow, that's got some serious recoil, guys. It's not too painful, but you wouldn't want to shoot it all day. Wow. All right, guys, so Buffalo Bore, heavy 44 Magnum, 270 grain jacketed flat nose out of my snub nose Smith & Wesson. How many 2x10s do you think it penetrated through? So here we have our first 2x10. You can see my shots were perfectly spaced out. 3 shots right here. This is the first board, okay? And let's check out the exit holes from the first board. Look at those huge exit holes there. Pretty impressive from a handgun. That's going to do a lot of damage to a big game animal like a black bear or a hog or elk even, moose. Pretty impressive. Look at that. Massive exit holes. Here we have the second board. Look at these entrance holes on the second board. Absolutely massive. Okay. And here are the exit holes on the second board. You can see some lead dust here. Okay, so it probably shed a little bit of that nose as it was plowing through the wood. And here we have the third board. And we have our bullets here, guys, stuck in the third board. So the Buffalo Bore, heavy 44 Magnum, 270 grain jacketed flat nose out of my Smith & Wesson Model 629 Performance Center with the 2 5/8 inch barrel, penetrated through 2 Douglas fir 2x10 framing joists. And that's about 3 inches of wood. It's pretty good penetration for a soft point. So just to compare this test with other tests that I've done, so with bear loads, I can usually penetrate 3.5 to 4 2x10s with this revolver. And if we look at rifles, 300 Win Mag soft points, I can typically shoot through about 6 or 7 Douglas fir 2x10s. So that's about 1/3 the penetration of 300 Win Mag soft points. So I'd say that's pretty good for a tiny little snub nose revolver to be able to penetrate 1/3 of what a full-size Magnum rifle can do. I'd say that's pretty impressive. And that's about the same amount of penetration as other 44 Magnum soft points I've tested out of this revolver. I've tested the Hornady 240 grain XTPs, which is the classic 44 Magnum load. And those also penetrated 2 2x10s. And the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum with 500 grain XTPs, those are the soft points from Hornady, can penetrate through 4 Douglas fir 2x10s. And if you want to see the test that I did with those, I'll leave a link at the top right corner of this video. So basically 50% the penetration of 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum soft points and 50% the penetration of 44 Magnum hard cast bear loads. So hopefully that gives you an understanding of what kind of penetration to expect with this load coming out of a small snub nose revolver. Pretty impressive penetration, pretty impressive damage to the wood, and looks like most of them maintained a straight line. You can see this one in a nose forward position. These two look like they started to kind of tumble just a little bit. Okay, but they're soft points, so they're not really designed for straight line penetration necessarily. But I'm going to try to repeat this test with different media. I'm going to try to shoot these into water or ballistics gel because I'm curious what kind of damage they would do to ballistics gel and what kind of expansion would occur in water. So I'm going to try to recover these bullets now, and I'm going to pull them out of the wood. We're going to take a closer look at them. We're going to weigh them. We're going to see what kind of expansion occurred. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So here are the 3 bullets. And I'm pretty impressed with the expansion out of that little 2 5/8 inch barrel. Pretty good amount of expansion here. Look at that, guys. Pretty good amount of deformation though. You can see the base there. And a lot of the bullet just deformed quite a bit. You can see actually it kind of like bent. The whole bullet just kind of bent, but pretty good expansion there. Pretty happy with that, especially in wood. Here's the other one. You can see some expansion occurring. Not a ton of expansion, but that's what you want, guys. This is a big game bullet, all right? This is not a conceal carry bullet. You don't want too much expansion because you want it to be able to penetrate deep enough to reach the vital area of a big game animal, okay? But pretty nice expansion there. And then here's the last one, okay? Look at that, guys. Pretty interesting. So this one got mangled up pretty bad, but I'm pretty happy with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some measurements with my calipers, and I'm going to get my reloading scale. And we're going to weigh these bullets and see what kind of weight retention they have. All right, guys. Got my calipers here zeroed out. Let's see what kind of expansion we got here. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Wow. 0.639, 0.64 inches of expansion. That is just impressive. Look at that. Pretty awesome. We got 0.45 on the narrower side, and that's again what it looks like. Here we have another one. Let's see what kind of expansion we got with this one. 0.580. So basically these bullets expanded to 60 caliber almost, at least on one side. On the other side they kind of just stayed about 40 caliber. And then here's the one that had the most violent expansion. Let's see what kind of expansion here. Wow, look at that. 3/4 of an inch of expansion. That is crazy, guys. Wow, from a handgun bullet, I'd say that's pretty impressive, especially from a 2.5 inch barrel. I mean, when you think about that, 2.5 inch barrel, guys, that's like nothing. It's almost like no barrel whatsoever. It's basically the bullets coming right out of the chamber, and it's just getting a little bit of spin, and that's it. So I'm going to get my reloading scale now, and let's see what kind of weight retention we got. So I got my reloading scale here. I got this 100-gram weight. We're just going to use this to make sure the scale is zeroed out. So 100.01. All right, we're going to switch to grains now. Let's start weighing these bullets. 263.7 grains. Wow, I am impressed. That is a lot of weight retention for a soft point bullet. Wow, that's really good. 263.7 on the second one. Wow, very impressive. And 263.9. Wow, I am really impressed, guys. This might be my new hunting load for this 44 Magnum snub nose, even though I don't really hunt with it, but if I ever had to, this is the bullet I would use. I think it has a great combination of weight retention and expansion and also energy. So I'm pretty happy with this test, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. One thing I do want to mention is I like this nice little touch that Buffalo Board does with their boxes. They actually have like a plastic box and it snaps over here. So, you know, it makes it very convenient. You can throw this in your backpack. You can even put this in your pocket. You don't have to worry about something happening to it. It's a nice, solid, durable box. I wish more ammo companies paid attention to details like that, because, you know, with those cardboard boxes, you throw that in your pack, and if it's raining or snowing, that cardboard gets wet, and that box of ammo is turning into paper mache. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what other types of tests you want to see me do with this ammo. I was thinking of doing maybe a ballistics gel and water test. I got to get my hands on some ballistics gel. But that's pretty much it, guys. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.